Hi there, and welcome to round, I don't know, 3 of the Kyle Kulinski is losing it over losing Joe Rogan and taking it out on Andrew Schultz. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing, so I want, first of all, I saw the comments. I'm not going to continue to read them, but I did see the comments, obviously, because I'm a new channel. Oh, I'm trying to establish a channel, and I want to know what you guys are thinking. However, I agree with Kyle Kulinski probably on 80% of whatever it is. I think our biggest disagreement would probably be on Ukraine. Um, I think that he agrees with Andrew Schultz on 80% of it, but as a typical, and is typical of the American left or liberal side or whatever the frick you want to call them, they have all this infighting. They always shun people who should be their allies. They shun Joe Rogan. I mean, again, I've said Joe Rogan lives in a different world now. He's so rich, he doesn't even touch us common people and couldn't even possibly begin to understand what it's like to be us, even though he was one of us once upon a time. You know, he's changed, and it's okay. People, it happens. Money changes people, or whatever. First, it reveals who you truly are, but in the end, when you have that much money, it's got to change you. He goes from his house to the greenhouse, to his house to the greenhouse room, to the house to the greenhouse, to wherever he does a gig, and then whatever, right? It's a very isolated life, no matter how much he tries, and he's only around rich people, right? Anyway, so anyway, so but Andrew Schultz, also a wealthy comedian, but he should be, if you bother to listen to his podcast and to the things that he says, he has a fair critique. You can agree with it or not, but it is fair. It is done in good faith, right? But I want to again remind everybody how he was characterized by Kyle for no fucking reason.
Complete shutdown of Rogan sphere comedians until we can figure out what the hell is going on. I really think that because, man, there was a great video. I forget the name of the video. There was this great video that came out recently that was basically about how a comedy is like a hellscape now, and it's largely because of Joe, where it's more about like, did I offend you? Did I offend you? Did I offend you? Look at the woke college kids with pink hair, bro. Look at them, bro. Like that's the whole fucking thing is that, right? And it's like at some point it's like yawn. We get it. Like we see what you're doing here. But so one of Rogan's friends is Andrew Schultz. Now he's part of so Andrew Schultz had Trump on when he ran for president. Tim Dillon had JD Vance on. And of course Rogan had Trump, JD Vance, Elon Musk, literally a new oligarch, robber baron, billionaire prick every other week where they would come on and lie to Rogan's audience and he would jack them off. So Andrew Schultz is still on this arc. Look, the thing you need to know about these people, right, is they are wave riders.
Okay. So what arc is Andrew Schultz on? If he had bothered to, which is the reason he's out on all these podcasts, besides the fact that they're all smart and they promote each other through their podcast, something that the left could learn something from, right? They should build each other up, but instead there's infighting between the Breaking Points and him and Jimmy Dore, and that the whole fucking thing is one big infighting instead of having each other on and promoting each other's podcast and whatever and doing events and working together. No, there's infighting, right? And it's the same fucking shit here. But again, if he had bothered to watch his freaking his latest stand-up, he would know it's all, as I said in the last video, it's all about him fucking not being able to get his wife pregnant, right? So it's not about politics at all.
They are wave riders. They are narrative humpers. They like to think of themselves as like, bro, we're just iconoclastic truth tellers, bro. That's what we're doing. No, you're fucking not. No, you're not. You're looking around. Hey, what's popular online? What's hot online? Okay, let me ride that wave. And so
I'm not going to go into
with those guys, bro.
They were like, again, but this is the characterization that he
threatens
does,
to invade Greenland, threatens to in prices,
and then he plays
have everything about these Rogan Sphere comics. Watch this.
The sides switched so much. You know, when I was younger, like Democrats were cool. They were getting their dick sucked in the office. They were like, right? They were like, they were like supportive of like hip hop music. They said, do whatever you want. Like, we don't want to be in your bedroom. They were cool with gay people. Like, it was cool to be a Democrat. Now, conservatives got 3 baby mamas. The president got 3 baby mamas. He's getting pussy left and right. Right? He's cool. He's the one saying, say whatever the fuck you want. So now conservatives have become Democrats. So I don't think I've changed. I just like the dudes that get pussy and say whatever they want.
Right. So he uses this entire clip to say that this is who Andrew Schultz is. This is all Andrew Schultz is about. And then, of course, I showed you when I played when I played more from the Trigonometry podcast that he actually went in and had some excellent points about some progressive values. And again, like I said, he's an ally. He's somebody that you want on your team. He has a massive podcast. He talks to a whole bunch of people, and he wanted Kamala on. They were invited. He's got the receipts for that. He's an ally, but for some fucking reason, Kyle Kulinski decided to dump all over it. And here we have Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne the God actually address the whole thing. They're of course smart enough not to use his name, but we can clearly hear what they're saying here.
This system is not broken.
Okay.
The way we consume content is.
Talk to us.
Because we'll watch this
And let it define
a person's whole narrative. Let's use podcast, for example.
Oh, dude.
I actually used your example. I actually used Flagrant as an example to the students. I was talking about the Pete Buttigieg interview.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch 2 minutes of that interview, and everybody, I saw people just mad, like, oh, what the fuck? Why did Pete go on this show? Blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, number one, did you watch the clip?
No.
By the way, that was a fascinating podcast with Pete Buttigieg, right? I would never vote for the guy, right? Because I neoliberalism is just not my cup of tea. But I have a different perspective on the person now. I don't have this visceral reaction, DEI reaction to him. I still think that he was pushed forward and all these kind of things, but him going on that podcast made a difference in the way that I view him. Great podcast. Kyle should do one of those.
And if you did watch the clip, did you go take the time as a consumer to literally go watch the full podcast?
Definitely not.
You have.
And this reminds me of an old study that came out, I can't remember, in the 2000s or whenever it was, that it says that 70% of Americans, I believe it was on Facebook, but in general, online, 70% of us only read the headline, right? So that's why we can take these out of context clips, and then we post them, and then we have this reaction to him, and we're outrageous, and whatever, he does all these movements and does this entire criticism for what? For clicks? For money? I know you're not that hard up, Kyle.
Nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So the media ecosystem isn't broke. The media ecosystem is doing what it's doing. It's up to us to go do our due diligence and take in the full context of things.
Okay, I think you're 100% right, because you're treating people with the most agency. You're an adult, and you should be able to consume things as an adult.
Yes.
And you shouldn't
that's
just
the
be
first
spoon-fed
mistake you
things
made, right?
that satisfy your lust and desire.
Yes.
And hatred.
Thinking that we Americans are adults. Well, that was his first mistake, but I mean, he's right? We need to do better, right? We need to report on Twitter. We need to be the one who reports the bots. We need to be the ones who get rid of all the garbage that are there, right? We can't expect. Clearly, Elon can't do it.
Or support, whatever it is. Unfortunately, I think one thing you could say about media, and it's not just politics, by the way, it's medicine too, but like, it's very easy. I think most people, they have a certain feeling about the world, and they're going out there looking to satisfy it. And here's the dangerous thing. It's not just the consumers. it's the people in media also, because they get views and clicks
Kyle.
on satisfying their own viewpoint, which is often their
Kyle.
audience viewpoint. So like Flagrant's a perfect example, right? Because I've seen like, I don't want to go like liberal media, because it's not all liberal media, but I've seen like a lot of accounts and a lot of these so-called like journalists and experts, like
Kyle.
specifically trying to like paint Flagrant in one way, right?
Yeah, that's conservative.
And I go,
Kyle.
if you actually like watch Flagrant and you know Flagrant, it might be the only pod, well, and Brilliant, with actual diversity. I'm not talking about the way we look. Yeah, we're diverse. Of course, naturally, you got a black dude, you have an Indian dude, you got a white dude, another white dude, right? But in terms of like intellectual diversity, like even diversity within Florida, Miles is like liberal communist from Florida, he's producer. But Mark grows up more conservative, religious. Akash grows up in conservative Texas, but he also has like liberal leanings because he was a brown dude growing up in Texas after 9/11, right? Me, I grew up liberal in New York. Alex grows up in this beach community out there in Far Rockaway, right? Like more like a surfer guy.
And lies about the hood.
And lies about the hood, paints his nails, etc. Right? Obviously, he's boogie boarding all day. So the point that I'm trying to make, yeah, of course, he's in the back of his wetsuit for sure.
I mean, they're funny. They are really funny. Come on, they're funny.
It's only wet on land.
Absolutely.
But like, you actually get different viewpoints. We're like this manosphere bro pod. Two of the guys on the podcast have only had sex with one girl, the person that they married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they clearly, and I don't even know if they're aware of it. And that's the sad thing, because some of these people consider some journalists, they're not even doing the due diligence to look into what the show is, which is like, in my estimation, that and Brilliant Idiots are like the last bastions of true diversity in podcasting. And then we get labeled in this certain way, and they take clips out of context and don't even apply any of their liberal progressive values to them.
And
they'll just go, oh, this is meat, and I can feed it to my audience, and I'll place them in this certain way. Like,
and that's why I said it's up to the consumers. Like we keep talking, it's the consumer has to.
I can't remember. I don't think there's any more. But the point is made, right? He makes the point. He just takes this little clip, makes him into this cartoonish bro. He's the fucking ankle socks in his fucking. He's the least bro. He's the least fucking bro science of all of them, right? He's thoughtful. I don't agree with him. I fucking hate that you have to put this qualifier on everything that you say. Obviously, you don't agree with everything, anybody about everything, unless you're a part of MAGA and Trump, right? Normal human beings, at least fucking how it used to be. You don't agree with everybody on everything. But to say that Andrew Schultz is not a thoughtful human being, and that there was depth to that conversation at Trigonometry for a comedian. We have to call comedians stupid. However, they are some of the smartest people on the planet. They have to be. Well, it's observable, intelligence in observing things. Anyway, I don't know what's up with Kyle. It's fucking, it's too bad. Why do I care? Well, because Kyle is one of the people that I used to consume news from, and I can't trust him anymore, and I don't like it. I don't want to have to check whether or not I'm getting all the context from the people that I consume news from. And it is sadly what Kyle have become. A bitter ex-girlfriend. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other.